Hey, restaurant owners and operators, Ryan Gronfin here with the Restaurant Boss. Today is May 1st of 2024. Can you believe how fast this year is going? It is pretty unbelievable. But today, as you can see on the screen, I want to talk to you about some changes that big brands go through. In particular, we're going to focus on Chili's here today. I got an article emailed to me through FSR Magazine, and then it linked me to a few other articles. And there were some nuggets of information in here that I think will be very valuable to you if you're struggling a little bit in your brand right now. If you're sort of looking at some headwinds from the economy, right? Inflation, prices, your costs are up. Consumers are spending a little less. Consumers are getting a little more particular. Our traffic numbers are down. We're continuing to see, we've been seeing this for about 9 months now, but we are continuing to see sales dollars be flat, maybe up a little bit, but what we're still seeing are guest counts coming down. So again, this is just with all the brands I work with across the country. In general, we see slightly different things from brand to brand, from location to location, but in general, the industry as a whole is seeing total sales dollars be flat or up a little bit because of all the price increases we've done over the last couple of years. But guest counts are down. Now, a lot of us haven't done sales increases or price increases in the last 9 to 12 to maybe 15 months because we did so many during that massive inflation boom. But now we're not able to do those increases as much. And so with those lower guest counts, when we start comparing, as we get further into this year, when we start comparing this year to last year, we're not going to see the effect of those price increases as much. So again, I just want to point out a couple of quick things for you here. I want to start kind of with this article right here, which is the one I got today. And it kind of caught my headline, like Chili's latest value push goes after McDonald's and fast food. I was really hoping to see something juicy in here about like a really aggressive ad campaign or something. But what it took me in was a different direction. What it took me in was this idea that the CEO of Chili's right now, and full disclosure, I worked for Chili's for about 6 months when I was young. I was like 21 or 22. I was taking a break from working in the kitchens at the Peninsula Hotel, and I wasn't quite sure. I thought maybe I wanted to change careers. And so while I was going to school, I was working at a Chili's as a server. And by the way, I learned a ton working for them. Great brand at the time. And I crushed it as a server, like sales competitions, things like that. And I talked to some of my clients about some of the strategies I learned there and how to implement them from things that I learned at Chili's. But I've always been partial to the brand. In the last few years, though, their quality has just not been there. And so I've switched from like Chili's being my go-to for just cheap family food to Chewy's here in Austin, Texas. But I think I want to get back into a Chili's here and try it after reading this article. So again, their CEO, Kevin Hochman, what he kind of says here is that they are going to continue to focus on, I want to find exactly where it is. I think it's in this article, or it pulls a series of levers that they're going to continue to focus on a couple of things. One, what they call their core four. And their core four is burgers, margaritas, crispers, which are their chicken, their fried chicken tenders, crispers, and fajitas. And then the other thing he also says is that as they're feeling the headwinds, because the conversation was, what's going to change? As you feel these headwinds, what are you going to change? He said, nothing. We're going to continue to focus on our model. I'm trying to find exactly where it was. But what he basically says is that we're going to continue to focus on what we've done to get us here, to build this brand, which is always improving our food, always improving our service, right? Always focusing on the guests. Like, we don't change the way we operate, whether it's a good economy or a bad economy. So I love that. But what I really wanted to bring to your attention here was this idea of the core four, and then this other idea of this value, right? This battling against discounting. So one, let's talk about the core four again. In their case, burgers, margaritas, chicken crispers, and fajitas. So they put, I'm making this number up, 80% of their attention, whatever. But what he says in this article, and you can read it on FSR, is that they put most of their energy into developing those products. That's what they're known for. That's what they're good at. That's what they use to distinguish themselves in the marketplace. And that's what they want to continue to innovate on. So I asked the question, what are your core four? For me, most of the clients I work with, we try to develop one. Like, what is your main item? I'm okay with 2 or 3. 4 is a lot for a brand like this with a big menu and a lot of exposure. I get it. But like, what's your 1, 2 items that are absolutely core to your marketing, to your guest experience, to everything you do? And what do you do to continually innovate and improve that product? And so then the other thing I wanted to talk about is this idea where they're battling against discounting. And the way that they're battling against discounting, they call it the barbell approach. I read on, that didn't really make much sense to me. What I call this is, value plus pricing, or the Taco Bell model. What value plus pricing or the Taco Bell model means to me, and again, any of my clients out there, you know what I'm talking about when I say the Taco Bell model. What it means to me is I want to have stuff on my menu that I can advertise as high value, a good price point, right? So Subway used to do the $5 footlongs. Taco Bell, there's always this idea at Taco Bell that you can get like a pack of like a drink, chips, and like 4 tacos for like $5 or $6. There's always something on their menu that's really cheap. But here's the thing. When I go to Taco Bell, I don't spend $5 on lunch. I spend $12 or $13 because even if I order one of those value meals, I upgrade the tacos. I change the ground beef to steak or to chicken. I change the shell from the regular taco shell to the Doritos Locos taco shell. You know, I do something to upgrade it because the basic taco is ground beef and lettuce. I want cheese. I want sour cream. I want a better meat, right? But that's a choice that I get to make. So again, what Chili's is really focusing on is this 3 for me has been very successful for them. 11, I think it's $10.99, $13.99, and $15.99 are their price points. They don't want a discount. They're not running coupons. They're not doing deep discounts. What they have are these value plus items that they're advertising, that they're pushing in their restaurant. But what they're finding is that if someone wants value, they'll buy the $10.99 pick 3. Most people buy the middle package at the $13.99. But what they're finding is that as they've improved their options, as they've dug into this value plus barbell Taco Bell model, they're finding that they're selling 40% more of the $15.99 now than they used to sell of the $13.99. And that's because they're appealing to 2 sets of consumers. The more value-minded consumer, and then the consumer that has a few more discretionary dollars to spend. Like me, for example. If I went into a Chili's, I always like a value, but I'll probably see like a bacon Western burger, like a burger with onion rings and barbecue sauce and crispy or bacon. That's not going to be on the $10.99. That's going to be on the $15.99. Well, I want that burger, so I'll upgrade to the $15.99. What are you doing in your restaurant so you can appeal to those 2 sets? So you can have a value-driven product that in this economy will bring people in, but then let them make a choice to upgrade. Are we giving them a path to upgrade? Or is it just it's this or this? Now, one of the other things that they talk about in this article is a a la carte strategy. There are certain high demand items that they don't include in their 3 for me because, again, if someone really wants that, they'll order it a la carte and they'll spend more. So think about your menu right now and think about what are your core products? How are you allowing people to see value in your restaurant? Now, again, value doesn't have to be $10.99. Value for you might be $20, $30, but what items do you have that allow people to see value in your restaurant so we can drive up some of these traffic numbers? But then if someone comes in and has more dollars to spend, let them spend it. Two last things I want to add here. One is on this topic of value plus. I work with a lot of kind of middle of the road restaurants that are quick service or more bar type restaurants where, they're not serving a high end product. They're not serving steaks and lobster and stuff like that. But I tell every restaurant, you should have something substantially more expensive than everything else on your menu. So if I work with a sports bar, like a Chili's that does, burgers and wings and pizza and stuff like that, they should have a $40 steak on their menu. Now, they're afraid to do that because they're like, well, if someone sees that I have a $40 steak, they're going to think that we're too expensive. No, you have families that have money who are dining at your restaurant because you're convenient, because they like it, because they don't want to spend a lot of money tonight. But if someone in that family wants a steak, give them a steak. Let them spend more money. Don't cap out at $16 or $17 because that's where your average price point is. If your average price point is $12, $13, you should have stuff for $11. You should have stuff for $15, $16, $17. But throw a $35 steak on your menu. You might sell some. Surprisingly enough, all my clients that do this do sell some. The last thing I wanted to touch on here as we're kind of digging into these Chili's articles is, where is it here? This, is it this one? No. I think it was this one. Pulls a series of levers to drive traffic. So Chili's is spending a lot of money on TV. Now, I understand that we don't, in the independent world, spend a lot of money on TV advertising. But whatever it is, the point is they are doing this smartly. They're spending a lot of money advertising to one product in a certain area, hard and heavy, and then they're seeing how it's working. And what they're seeing is massive results from this. So we can do the same thing less expensive. When you identify what your core product is, you can run $20 or $30 or $40 a day of a well-positioned Facebook ad or a Instagram or TikTok ad focusing on that product to a specific zip code or area for like 3 or 4 weeks and then see, is that working? Well, if that's working, then let's double down on it. If you have multiple locations, let's test it in one and then try it in others. If not, switch something up. But like they have 3 commercials running right now in 3 different markets and they're testing which one works. The ones that don't work, they eliminate. They try a new one, but they're always testing this stuff. So the point is like, get out in front there, like get aggressive, like put stuff out there, scream from the top of a mountain that you're here and you have a great product and you should come in and try it. I think we overcomplicate all this stuff. So again, to wrap up here, right? 3 things I want you to focus on. What are your 4 things actually? Focus on what you focus on. Doesn't matter if it's a good economy or a bad economy. Focus on improving your products. Focus on improving your service. Focus on improving your guest experience. If we always focus on that, we're never going to go wrong. 2, what are your core products? Focus on those. Always make improvements. Crispers, for example. Crispers have been on Chili's menus forever, but now they're offering all these different sauces because that's the trend right now. Nashville hot and garlic and all these other things, right? So what are your core products? What's your pricing strategy? You should be adopting more of a value plus pricing strategy. And then 4th, like hit it hard, get it out there, let people know. Anyways, head on over to Food Service Restaurant FSR magazine if you want to check out some of these articles, read them in more depth for yourself. Last thing I want to add here is if you've stuck around this long, if you know who I am, then you already know that you can get a copy of our amazing book completely free on our website, therestaurantboss.com. If you don't know who we are, head to therestaurantboss.com. Grab yourself a copy of Make It Happen. It's a book that I wrote a couple years ago. It's selling incredibly well. And if you come to our website, you can get it for free. If you go to Amazon, you got to pay for it. And then also, check out our membership. Maybe you're interested in, we do a training once a month for our members, and then we hop on a call and do a Q&A session. Look at our software, ClickBacon. We've got some amazing new stuff coming out with that. Head over to clickbacon.com. Or maybe you need to schedule a one-on-one strategy session where we can put together some of these strategies specifically for your restaurant. Either way, my name is Ryan Gromfin with The Restaurant Boss. I'm here to help operators improve their systems, their processes, procedures, take more money to the bottom line. right? And experience more joy of operating your restaurant. So there's lots of different tools that we have available to you all at the Restaurant Boss. Let us know how we can help. And remember, systems create freedom. Freedom creates value. Value creates scale. I love every single one of you crazy restaurant people. And I look forward to bringing you another great video just like this here soon. Bye-bye. Make It Happen is the book I wish I had when I was operating restaurants. Inside are the lessons that took me 10 years to learn and 10 more years of teaching to perfect. I've condensed the most important lessons into this tiny book for building a big restaurant business. I am on a mission to improve restaurants all over the world. Because of that, I want to send you a free copy. Grab yours today at therestaurantboss.com.